Yo, what's up guys? So welcome back to my playthrough from the Journey to the Savage Planets. This is part 3, and we're going to start back at the Towering Crystals teleportation spot. And now we got the jump thrusters, which is basically just a double jump. We could access the next area, and that's going to lead us to our next upgrade, the grappling hook, and a new teleportation spot. Just make sure you scan this pod.
This pod was secretly designed to protect its contents from the ravages of time.
Alright, so with the jump thrusters we could access the meteor crater area, and that's going to lead to a new enemy, which is actually kind of hard. Nothing crazy, but compared to these flying squids that are more just annoying, they're a little bit tougher. But once you know how to beat them and like find their weak spot, they're not that hard. And then we're going to pick up a piece of alloy, which is a new resource, and we're going to use that alloy to fix up the ship for that mission fixer-upper. And then there's going to be a bunch of alloy pieces in the game. I forget how many, but there's an achievement attached to it. And then for the rest of the game, all the alloy you pick up is going to be used for upgrades. So every upgrade is going to need 1 or 2 pieces of alloy too. They're a little bit tougher to find than the orange goo, because there's less of them. Like there's 100 orange goo, so they're going to be everywhere. So in this area, just make sure you scan. There's going to be an anthill, like a big ass anthill. And then there's going to be like a fallen head from that tower that we have to investigate. Right here.
Chimney, chimney. Looks to have fallen from the nearby tower at least 400 years ago.
So if you look above you, you see that glowing orb. That's what we're going to need the grappling hook for. Pull ourselves up to higher areas, access new stuff. And over here is going to be a cave looking entrance, and it's going to have a slash, like a red slash that glows. And we won't be able to access that now. We're going to need the bomber granite upgrade, and they're basically little hand grenades, and we can blow the doors open. Just make sure you scan it, and that's going to give you that mission.
A cracked wall. I have a few theories on what is possible here. All of them involve explosives. That upgrade would be very useful indeed. I have sent a request to Kindred, but we have yet to locate the required resources on this planet. Stay tuned. A plump citrus fruit favored by the frugivores of this planet. This anthill is way bigger than the ones on Earth, but the ants are the same size.
So I'm going to run down this babushka. I'm going to slap it and get all 3 of the variations real quick, just to make sure that I got them for that achievement for slapping all the creatures you run into.
Wow, that one was juicy. Look at all that juicy loot. Nice shot.
So remember, when you see a new creature, scan it and slap it. See, because I scanned everything in my first playthrough, but I forgot to slap everything, and I figured I'd make an effort to do it this time. And don't forget, there's different variations of these puffer birds, so always check to make sure that you already scanned them, and you already. See, I don't know if the kick counts as a slap, because I kick a lot of stuff too.
Just in case killing the adults wasn't sadistic enough.
Don't miss those eggs. They're easy to miss. I don't remember seeing a lot of them. And make sure you get this little structure. I think there's only like 7 alien structures in the Kindex that you have to scan, so they're important to grab. And then right up here, we're going to finally use our jump thrusters, the double jump. And it's going to say secret nearby. Don't worry about that now. We'll have to come back for that one. And when you see secret nearby, what that means is there's going to be fuel, one of the alien transmissions, or one of the logs from the explorer on this planet that was here before us. One of those 3 things.
These branches have latched onto a nearby host creature in order to survive.
So if you watch part 2, you know what to do. We're going to line up one of these puffer birds, and they set it up for you. If he's going to be in that grop, you just kick him right into the grinder, and then those vines will retract. There's going to be a few of them in this area, and there's going to be 3 or 4 of these little doors that can be blown open. So we're going to have to definitely come back to this area. As you play, you should be maybe write stuff down like, hey, there was this many doors that I can come back when I get the bomber granite upgrade, or I could use. Remember that door that I said we're going to need the shock fruit for? So it'd be smart to write down so when you do get those upgrades, you know exactly where to go. You're not just running around exploring, trying to remember where you found that stuff. So make sure you sneak around the back here. There's a little secret hidden. It's going to be another one of these grinders. And it's going to be a cave. It's going to have some goo and some carbon or something, I forget. So those little puffer birds won't be back here, so you have to use the grab. And they come real quick, so it's not a pain in the ass. So I thought this was one of the more original things where you could kick the puffer birds into those little grinders. And I felt like this game started strong with original stuff. Hold on.
Okay, so even more good news. Those tumors that improved your stamina and replaced your bones, they've spread to the musculature of your lower body, which gives you rock-hard glutes. You should be psyched.
I was saying, I thought this game started strong, it had good comedy, and I felt like it had original ideas. But then as you play, it just kind of fizzles out. It's more of the same. That was a bank shot. But it didn't count. I might have to kick another. Oh, it did count. So I had, a pretty good review of it in the beginning. There's another crack wall to remember. But as it went on, there's a lot of exploring you could do. Like, you could probably finish this game fast as shit if you just focused on the main missions and just collected enough orange goo to get by. And like I was saying, make sure you always check that grass. There's a lot of orange goo hidden there. But it kind of fizzled out for me. I was just getting bored with it. It was a lot of the same. I mean, it only was a $30 game, and it was definitely worth it. But I would love to see. I heard this company got paid, but got bought by Google, so maybe they'll definitely get an upgrade. But I would love to see like a $60 version where it's a lot of original stuff and more thought put into the worlds and maybe better enemies. I don't know. We'll see. It was, like I said, though, it wasn't disappointing to the point where I was pissed. It was just like, could have been better.
These are fleas.
All right, so this is that grass and some more orange goo. And a lot of it too was when I play a game, I can't finish it without doing everything. So once I got close to the end, I was running around collecting all the orange goo, collecting all the alloy, and scanning everything. So that kind of made it a little stale. Alright, here's the pomegranate plant.
Molotov-tastic!
So the way that works, you can still pick up these little pomegranates before you get the upgrade, but you just have 5 seconds to throw it. So it's like picking up a hot hand grenade, and you gotta get rid of it before it blows up in your hand. So you can blow up some doors that are close to those plants right now, and then just wait till you get the upgrade for the rest. And then right here, I was talking about these in part 2, the burgles. So this is the other species of burgle. The first one was the snow one. I didn't get a chance to scan it. It didn't come out. But these ones I know, if you shoot the health tree, they come out to collect it. So you can scan it, and then make sure you slap it. That's like this motto of the game, scan and slap. These guys seem to have some good health though. And so right up here we're going to see the next teleportation spot, and we're going to see the actual meteor crater would have got its name from.
This meteor arrived a few years before we did.
And right here we're going to get a new enemy porcupod. I don't remember seeing a lot of these guys, but you can't hurt them when they got the shell closed. I'm gonna take a photo real quick. But so you just gotta wait when they open up. They're gonna have like yellow, like a slimy body. You could shoot. You just gotta watch out because when they open up, they're gonna shoot out some sharp darts. You can see right there. They're not really a problem. So when you see, don't run past it. Even if you're not going to use it, just make sure you activate it. So you can teleport back here if you want. Alright, so I'm going to make my way to that enemy I was talking about in the beginning of the video. A little bit, probably one of the tougher enemies of the game. The first tough enemy you're going to come across. And then it's going to be two of them, actually. And they're going to be protecting the alloy that we need to fix up our ship. But the most important thing, make sure you scan it, make sure you slap it.
Secondary bonus of your lovely new jetpack is that you can use it horizontally to dodge at creatures such as this one, who might seem a little aggressive. Might want to put something sturdy between you and it.
Alright, so we got the Pike Commander. We've got one right now. More are going to come later. And what she was just saying is important. So if you hit B and left or right, you can do the side dodge. And when you side dodge that rolling attack, they sit there and they give you a chance to shoot the back of their tail, which is the weak spot. And then another way to get them to expose the weak spot is what I just did. You throw down the binding bile and it holds them in place. And then they made this one a lot easier. So then we got a new one, and then the third one will come as I'm fighting this one. So you don't even have to wait for them to attack. You can just throw out the binding bile if you have it. That's why it's important to shoot those seed trees I was telling you about, because they're going to drop the binding bile, the grappling seeds, which we'll be using later, and those little springy sacks that are good for getting to high areas before you get the double jump or the triple jump. So later on, we're going to get that 4 science mission that I was telling you about. And when we get that, we're going to get a live sampler. And you have to jab 3 creatures with it for one of the tasks of that mission. And one of the creatures is going to be the Pike Commander. So remember this area, because you're going to come back to use the live sampler on, which is you just run up and you jab it with it like a needle, and it extracts its DNA or something. And I think I was saying this before, but those 4 science missions are really cool because when you complete them, they give you access to new upgrades, and like not just like any tiny upgrade, like really important upgrades like damage, weapon damage, hold extra rounds, triple jump, like really cool stuff that makes the game a lot easier. So I already uploaded videos for all those challenges for the 4 science mission. There's 3 of them. You got level 2, level 3, and level 4. So if you have any questions, just check those out. And before you pick up this alloy, make sure you scan it.
Great. Once you bring this alloy back to the Javelin, I can start the repairs and unlock the first set of upgrades for your stuff.
So before I go back to the ship and use the alloy, so you got some binding bile right there, I just realized. So if you don't have any binding bile, when you go into that fight, just look out for those little plant seeds and pick some up. Alright, so before I go back to the ship with the alloy, I'm going to go pick up the Proton Tether. I just remembered to slap this enemy before I forgot. So hopefully that counts, because I slapped the shell. I don't know if you have to slap the shell or slap that yellow slimy body, so I just made sure. These things are more of a pain in the ass. Just run past them. They won't bother you. And we're going to go into the next area. It's going to lead us into a cave, and then the next shrine to extract the juice for the upgrade for the Proton Tether. So I was going to go back and just upgrade the ship, which I probably should have did, because it gives me access to new upgrades. But I figured while I was here, I'll just go over there. And we're going to see a new enemy. And I think this is the only time in the game where you have to use a little bit of stealth. So you can't be seen in the red laser area, this field of vision. So that you see these big stones, you could just use these, or these little holes to kind of duck into. And what you got to do, I didn't even try to shoot it. I don't know if you can. I don't think so. But you just got to sneak up behind it and do a melee attack, which is like a unique attack you'll see right here. Boom. The old finger in the eye. I actually forgot to scan it though. I'll scan it later, and I'll try to slap it later, but it don't let you because it does that.
You're looking for is inside this cave. Detecting some seismic instability though.
So I actually turned around real quick to see if I could scan it and slap it, but the body disappears, so I'll have to get it later. And we're gonna go into this little lava area. Obviously, you don't want to fall into the lava, and we're gonna have a new enemy, but you can't shoot until it attacks.
It looks like a boomerang and a koala made a baby.
So when they're far away, they're just going to throw stuff at you, and you can't hurt them until they're flying at you, or at least flying in the air. When they're perched up, you can't take them out. So wait till they're flying at you to shoot them, or if you want, you have to slap the enemy. So this is what I'm trying to bait them into coming at me. If you slap them as they're about to attack you, you can grab them and then kill them that way, which I recommend. You'll see. See right there, I should have been looking. So in this area, like I was saying before, we don't have the upgrade for the pomegranate, but it's close enough that we could just pick one up and throw it. So you can grab one right here. You just have 5 seconds though. You just got to make sure you throw it right away. Boom. Sorry. So now I know I got access. So I'm gonna wait for him. So just spam up the melee button and wait for them to attack. Alright, that's it. So before we move to the main area, go left, and there's going to be some orange goo to pick up before you leave. So we're going to have these rising and falling platforms. Actually die here, not right here in the next area. I was just kind of rushing through, and I figured it wouldn't take away too much damage to be in the lava, but that one fell down too and it fucked me up. So we got orange goo, we got a health tree, and then we're going to go to the main area, and then that's going to lead us to another orange goo and the upgrade. You just gotta be careful because when you're platforming, those things will attack you and then knock you off your, take away your momentum and make you fall in the lava. So just have patience because I was just trying to rush through this area, and I kind of underestimated the damage the lava does. So it's up, and it's up. So I can just go right through. And then now I'm going to go to the main area, and we're going to have to blow up another door, but I'm not going to make it the first try because I fall into the lava. Wah, wah. I just leave the death in though, just to show you guys what happens when you die and what to do.
Plasma's in the next room, but sonar suggests it's locked inside some sort of geode.
So it's going to be orange goo right to the left there. I miss it. So it was kind of lucky I died because when I come back I notice it. So you got these guys here. Like I said, they're a pain in the ass because once you jump, they're going to attack and they're going to take away all your momentum and make you fall short of your jumps. So it's a lot of patience. So land on a platform that's not moving and then wait for them to attack so you can take them out first before you start platforming. So you can see the crack there. So you're going to have to get to the pomegranate right here and then throw it. So you know it's there, so if you can't see the door, just throw it in the area. So wait for him, take him out. Should have paid attention because I overjumped and it went away as I was about to jump again. So just take your time.
Hey, you forgot the plasma for the grapple. Sort of the whole point of the thing.
Alright, so when you die, you're dead, but they can transfer your consciousness into a replicate body or a clone. But they have to do that on the ship, obviously, so you have to start from the ship and make your way back to the area that you were in. So that's why I was saying it's important to activate those teleportation orbs, even if you're not going to use it. Because I can go right straight to the meteor crater and make my way to the cave. And sort of like Dark Souls, when you die, you could pick up your soul. So right here, you'll drop your loot, and you just got to retrieve your loot. It won't be exactly where you died, so that's good. So if you fall down like a long cavern or mountain, you don't have to worry about getting to the bottom of it to find it. They'll usually put it in the same general area, which is like but in a more convenient area for you. And another important thing a lot of people missed, you have to scan that loot you're going to retrieve as part of the achievement. So if you want 100% on your Kindex, before you pick up your loot, when you return to it, scan it. I'll show you right here. I'll scan it. Because on my first playthrough, I was missing one thing and I couldn't figure out what it was. And then it ended up being the loot right here. You'll see it shining in the middle there. And it's going to have all the resources that you picked up before you died. So I got hit by that stupid asshole, but I scanned it there. And mission complete. So as I'm looking around, I realized there's orange goo over there, so it's kind of a good thing. I would have got it, eventually when I got the orange goo detector upgrade. But it's just more convenient to grab now because I won't have to come back to the cave. So we're going to make our way over to where I blew up the door. And then right beyond that is the upgrade for the grappling hook, which they call the Proton Tether for the fancy name. So I'm just looking around, make sure I'm not missing anything. I'm going to have a little bit more patience this time. Wait for the platform to pop up right in front of me. And this whole game about how you come back as a replicant reminded me of the movie Moon. I literally just watched that movie before I played this game too, because I heard it it came out in I forget what year, a few years ago, but I heard it was a really good movie from I think on the Joe Rogan podcast or something. Make sure you scan this little shrine first. And spoiler alert for the movie, the guy is basically in the same setup. He's on the moon. He's trying to get resources for Earth, and he has a bad accident, but then he wakes up back at the ship. But then you realize it's not actually him, it's a clone. But then that clone goes to the accident area and then finds the guy. They thought he was dead, but he wasn't. So he brings the original guy back, and then they're looking at each other like, what the fuck's going on? And that's kind of the beginning, and what reels you in to try to untangle what the hell happened.
Alright, I'm analyzing the sample and updating the blueprint. Once you've got the other resources, you can create a grapple back at the Javelin.
So that might be a cool idea for if they ever do a part 2. They could send the clone like I just did, but the original guy didn't actually die. So they're looking at each other like, all right, who are you? And they look exactly the same, and they have all the same memories. And then that could be some kind of co-op or, tag team. Just an idea for if the developers are listening, I guess. So we got the Proton Tether juice. We just got to take it back to the ship. So this guy came back, so now I can scan him. What's his name? Sprout Look. There's only a handful of these in the game. So I'm trying to slap it, but I did the takedown, so hopefully that counts as a slap. I was trying to slap the dead body. So we got the alloy, we got the Proton Tether stuff. So that's going to give us access to a few new upgrades. And then once I do that, I'm going to end the video. And then in the next video, we're going to fight the first boss. So I'll just let the video play of me. I think I get one more new email, and then I'll upgrade the ship, and I'll upgrade my weapon from the alloy. So if any questions, let me know in the comments. I'll see you guys in part 4. Bye.
You brought the alloy back. Perfect. I will now be able to complete my repairs on the Javelin, which will eventually allow you to leave this planet. Better still, this particular alloy seems to be capable of crafting many different upgrades. I have unlocked several new blueprints in your 3D printer. It's like Christmas over here. Proton Tether. Perfect hammering into weird, arbitrarily floating cubes. The cartographers can now plot a path from your location to the required upgrade ingredient. Go get it. Or don't. Your choice. But your compass has been updated. Upgrade complete. Upgrade synthesized.
Stay alive, and see you soon.